Hello, today we're going to talk about local area marketing. So there's lots of different goals for marketing plans. This particular one is most appropriate for those businesses that need to reach out to potential customers in their catchment areas. So what sort of businesses are these? Primarily, they're probably made face to face, at least initially, and this would include things like the various building trades, health professionals, dentistry, audio, physio, and other professionals like lawyers and architects, all of whom need to have people that can interact with them face to face. So, what is the catchment? Well, in the country areas, it's probably a central town and its associated hinterland villages. In the city, it's probably the suburb that the business is resident in and the suburban surrounding suburbs. It can be bigger or smaller in area. So, for example, a health professional might be smaller, it might be limited to 4 or 5 suburbs clustered around the one in which the business is located. On the other hand, a specialty lawyer who has many fewer clients might need a much larger catchment area in order to have sufficient clients. So essentially, the catchment area that a business of this type needs to focus on, an area big enough for you to make a sustainable success and grow your business. If the catchment area is too small, it won't do very well. Also, keep in mind that you have to travel to service these clients, or your clients have to travel to service you. If you're going to them, then you may find yourself doing a lot of traveling that you can't charge for. And if that's the case, then it makes the job less and less commercially attractive as you move outside a certain radius from where you're normally located. We call this the donut problem. And too many businesses focus on trying to get business from everywhere, and that would include the outer ring of the donut, but don't focus enough on getting business very close to them. And so they have a bit of a black hole in the middle of there. That's not a very good structure for one's catchment area. So in this case, a test is how far you or the customer is willing to travel to meet each other. What are the goals that we should be looking for in a successful local area marketing strategy? Well, one of the primary ones we think is long life. You want a marketing strategy that keeps attracting people for quite some time. Ideally, you also want it 24/7 available so that no matter when the client gets the impulse to transact with you, you're available. You need to be in front of them when they reach that point, the consumption point in their buyer's journey. It also needs a good return on investment. So the money that you put in needs to earn back several times what you invested in order to retain good value to you. It also ideally gets the client to believe that you are a safe pair of hands, that you can do the job professionally, you'll do it well. And this is called social proof, so that people are reassured that, in fact, you can do the job properly. What marketing channels are relevant in this sort of situation? Well, on our website, 12faces.business, we have in excess of 40 marketing channels, but not all of them are going to work in this particular instance. We can probably divide them into inbound and outbound. So outbound marketing channels are where you take the message to the client. And they would include things like advertising. They might include email, and that could be cold email. So you're sending out emails to people who don't know you. Or it might include a newsletter or blog that you email out. And that the success of the newsletters or blogs is governed by how often you send it out and what social proof that establishes for you. The problem with outbound marketing of this type is that it's gone in a few seconds. People get it, they notice it, they read it, and then they move on, and it never resurfaces probably. So you're only going to get impulse buys from these people, people who are already to buy, and your cold or your outbound marketing to them triggers it. Because it's got a comparatively, or usually has a comparatively short life expectancy, it probably has a fairly poor return on investment. You'd get very few orders coming back for how much you have to put into. On the positive side, though, it does build what's called brand awareness. So it does raise and keep raised your business in the minds of people who might later become consumers. Inbound channels, on the other hand, have the advantage that the client contacts you when they're ready to consume, or at least ready to talk more. One type of inbound marketing is referrals. This is where a third party lets another third party know that you can do the job properly. And these are extremely powerful because you're not bribing anyone, you're not controlling the process. People are putting themselves out on a limb a little bit to tell others that you think you're a good solution to this problem. And reviews of various types, a version of referrals. It's not person to person directly, but by putting up reviews and associating it with a person's name, they are putting their reputation on the line somewhat. And reviews tend to be very highly by consumers when they're looking around for social proof on your business. Brand awareness, which we've already spoken about, if they're already aware of your brand, then they're more likely to reach out to you spontaneously at inbound marketing. Social marketing is a possible source of inbound, but realistically speaking, if they don't have a pressing need to buy, they're not going to just start buying if they don't have the need. Social marketing can help with the brand awareness, but it's a little bit unclear as to whether it's a good inbound marketing tool. Probably the most successful of all of them is search engine optimization of your website. And this meets a lot of our criteria. It's 24/7 available, etc. There are some necessary conditions for your website to do its job properly or to do it successfully. For example, the site speed, the speed at which it downloads onto mobiles, needs to be less than 5 seconds. Anything more than that, and the majority of your people on mobiles will go somewhere else. It needs to be a comprehensive cover of your catchment. It's no good advertising your service in the suburb in which you happen to have your office if you ignore the adjacent suburbs around you, because it won't come up when someone is searching for a dentist in their suburb as distinct from a dentist in your suburb. Ideally, your search engine optimization should also show the what's in it for me of your products and of your services. What's in it for me is the most powerful marketing system around. People are always looking at how something is going to help them. And finally, one of the other necessary conditions is the social proof. You need to be able to have independent advice that you're a good business to service their particular needs. So let's give a quick summary of local area marketing and what to look for. The first step is to define your catchment area. This is the area that you want to reach out to on a regular basis. It's an area that's big enough to earn you the sort of income that you want, but small enough so there's not a lot of wasted time traveling. You want to market to that catchment area and every component, every part of that catchment area with your popular services. So no matter where a potential customer is in that catchment area or which of your services they're looking for, you'll turn up. The advantage of having a long life 24/7 media like your website is good because they will have you in front of them no matter when they're going off to search. Now, if you're one of these businesses work on a local catchment area, you could take some time to ask yourself a question about how well does your current marketing strategy service those sorts of goals. So in conclusion, please subscribe to this channel if you get it so that you get more like this or advised of more like this. Please like this clip if indeed you did like it, and please feel free to give us feedback about the pluses and minuses of the presentation and of the subject matter. If you'd like to read more on this topic, just go to our website, 12, number 12, faces.business, and you can search for any of the search terms that rang a bell with you in the course of this video. Thank you very much for your time.